Hello, my podcast people, and thank you for joining me for yet another episode of my favorite podcast. If you are joining on the day that it drops, it is Monday, October 28th, but presently, as I'm recording, it is nighttime, and that is why there's some banding behind me. Which side is it? Over there. I apologize. If you're watching this on YouTube, you see it. It's not the best look. I'm sorry. The Nikon, the banding, the light source, it doesn't match. The frequencies don't match, and that's why I get that banding. But I love having the M in the shot, so we're leaving it. Like I said, though, if you're listening, if you're listening or watching, it is Monday, October 28th. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Hopefully you've got some fun Halloween plans. Is that your thing? You do Halloween? I actually do really like dressing up, but more so for like a theme party as opposed to like Halloween. I don't like scary stuff. I don't like having to have makeup and stuff on my face, but I do love a good theme. So hopefully you got something good planned. Today we're talking about something. I'm actually really excited about this episode. I am going to do business or rather life updates first, but I am really excited about this episode. We're talking about your business and the idea that it's there to serve you. Right? Your business is there to meet your needs. And this is something that I've been thinking a lot about more recently because I am in the thick of launch season. And the reason it comes up is because, Jill and I we have Legacy, and then Lex and I run Lecture Mind. But with Legacy and with Lecture Mind, we are asking people, do you want to level up? Do you want to take your business to the next level? Do you want assistance with it? No, not everyone does. I personally, don't really. I'm good where I'm at. And so I'm sitting here thinking about these things and what needs are being met for people by their business, right? What needs are their business? What needs are being met, we'll say, by their business. So before we get into all of that, let's get into a few life updates, and then we'll hop in, and I'm really excited about sharing this resource with you. But life updates. I played in a fours tournament last weekend. Lex and I played in it. It was actually great. I hate fours. I hate playing on the men's net. I hate leaving the South Bay bubble. I did all of those things. For our friend Kevin, he asked us a month ago when we were at the Hermosa Open, may or may not have had a lot to drink that day, and was like, yeah, sure, would love to. It's the thing he invited us to go to is a gay tournament. And was like, yeah, of course, it'll be great. And I kind of thought he wouldn't remember. Kevin doesn't forget anything. So he texted, and I was just like, we are going to be here. So we went, and I'm honestly so fucking glad we went. I'm so glad we went. We were the only women. So there's four of us, 4 women and Kevin and this other guy, Billy. But we were the only 4 women at the whole tournament. It was all gay men. It's for this club called Pride Point. They basically had 2 divisions. It was I've never played volleyball, or I'm going to be a professional volleyball player. And I was like, well, we were in that division, and we lost every single game, but everyone was so nice, and it was so fun, and the weather was amazing, and Kevin was so happy, and it was actually just a really, really good time. So I'm happy we did that. Next life update, Lex's parents are coming to visit in 2 days. So by the time this episode drops, they will have already left. And I do think it's kind of cool with the whole podcast thing of we record it in the past, it goes out in the future, the present happens somewhere in between there, and then you hear about it 2 weeks later. But they're coming to visit, and I'm looking forward to it. We'll go to a football game, probably ride some e-bikes. Hopefully the weather stays, because October is doing what it's supposed to be doing finally. It didn't do what it was supposed to do for a boss up, and I'm sorry if you came. It wasn't terrible, but right now, the weather we have, this is what October is supposed to be like. It is definitely brisk in the morning. Volleyball the other day, I was like, I'm going to need sand socks. It is a thing. But by the middle of the day, it's actually very warm, and then it's super clear. The sunsets are amazing. So hopefully that weather stays around for their trip. What else in the life front? Lex and I are crushing Better Call Saul. We have 2 or 3 episodes left, and we are crushing it. I am crushing it. She falls asleep for a lot of it, which is actually really a good balance because she doesn't make me stop watching it. I just tell her what happened. So I think we have 2 more episodes to go, and I have no idea what we're going to watch afterwards. If you have any suggestions, please DM me. Go ahead and put it in the little comment section on YouTube. Send me a DM, send me a text, 310-737-2345. Would love it. What else we got? Moose and Rupert. Rupert's actually right here next to me. You can't see him because he's on the floor sleeping, but he is here. They're just being the best. I love them so much. We actually got a new duvet and a new duvet cover, and we made it super fluffy. So here's a hack here. Your whole life, it's been a lie. The marketing around duvets has been a lie. I just found out that the way they make them look so fluffy in like the magazines and in pictures is that they usually have 2 duvets inside of the duvet cover. And I was like, I will literally melt to death. Like, what? But went on Reddit, did some sleuthing, and what you can also do is get a bigger duvet than the duvet cover. So unfortunately, / fortunately, we have a California king bed. So that's like a big duvet. It's like the biggest one. But on Amazon, there are some vendors that have like super oversized duvets. And if you buy that and you stuff that into whatever size duvet cover you want, it will be fluffy. So now our duvet is fluffy. We got a new one. We got like a deep green one. It's very fall colors. We changed the pillows and things. So it's nice. But Rupert is loving it. Comes in every morning now and he's making biscuits. He's made 11 billion biscuits. It's the best. So perhaps that will bring us a good segue into today's main topic, which is your business meeting your needs? And the segue here is that one of the needs that my business meets is that financial aspect of things, right? It supports my lifestyle. I work so that I can live the way that I want. I don't need some super extravagant lifestyle, although like we do pay a lot of money to live here. Like it is a nicer place and it's nice. I live in Southern California, but I don't need more than I have. And I just want to be able to pay for these kids and so they can make biscuits and so I can have a fluffy bed. And that's it. Like I could work more. I could work more hours. I could have more clients. I could do more launches. I'm like just tired thinking about that. I could have more people on my team. Right? Shout out to my bomb ass team, Joe, Courtney, Lex, Sandy, and then sometimes website Joe. I don't only talk about him, but I got another Joe. But my team is the best. I don't want it to be any bigger. I'm like, this is great. We're phenomenal. But Laura Jean, you all know I love Laura Jean. She was the first to bring this up and really articulate this language during a mafia dinner we had in August, so a few months ago. And she asked, what needs do you want your business to meet for you? And I was just like, she said a whole bunch of amazing stuff during that dinner, but to me, that is something that really resonated. And no, we're not talking about Maslow and his stolen shit. As Laura was discussed, there is no hierarchy of needs, right? So the resource she gave us and that I want to give to you was a website called with a list of needs from Nonviolent Communication. All right, so NVC, Nonviolent Communication, Feelings and Needs List. We will link it in the show notes. I actually created a pretty link for it. So if you have a good memory, you want to go to themovementmaestro.com/NVC-needs-list. It will come up there as well, but we will link all of that in the show notes. Thank you, Courtney and Joe. But this episode, I'm going to, forewarning here, it may provide more information than actual answers. And I'm okay with that. Right? But on the page, on the website, there's a fairly comprehensive list of universal human needs. And those human needs have been put into 9 categories, according to this philosophy, right, of NVC, Nonviolent Communication, which the creator of it didn't even like the name of it because he was like, the 4th principle of this is like basically asking for what you want, and nonviolent says what it's not as opposed to saying what it is. But either way, what was birthed from it to me is amazing. So again, on that page, there's a fairly comprehensive list of universal human needs, and they're put into 9 categories. And those 9 categories are connection, autonomy, peace, interconnection, meaning, celebration, competence, honesty, and basic survival. Within that, actually, let me pull this up, and I want to read a few from each of these categories so you can kind of understand it. So within the connection category, the acceptance, affection, love, intimacy, which one was the next one? Within the interconnection, we're going to leave all this in there. We're going to leave it in. We're going to leave it in. We're good. Within the interconnection categories, belonging, consideration, community, trust, competence. Within that category, effectiveness, growth, learning, power. Within autonomy, it would be choice, space, and spontaneity. There's only 2 things in there. Within meaning, there's contribution, creativity, hope, inspiration, purpose. Honesty, within that, there's 2 parts, authenticity, integrity. In the peace category, there's beauty, ease, harmony, wholeness, order. Within the celebration category, there's joy, mourning, and play. And within the basic survival category, there's shelter, food, water, rest, safety, security, touch, right? Basic needs there. Perhaps that part there is a little bit boring, but I think there's just so much power in having this language in front of you. So again, go to that link. If you're driving, wait, obviously go home and sit and look at it. Right? As I was putting this episode together, I was just like, this is so exciting to me. Anytime I get language for things, I feel that it opens up an opportunity for communication and an opportunity for understanding. When Allegra introduced me to the Strengths Finders, I was just like, it's giving me language for things. This is amazing. I love it. And so same for this list. So to me, for me, my business meets my needs of, if I go into the categories of basic survival, of interconnection, right? That piece for sure. And that's really thought through the mafia. For meaning, right? Within meaning, there's the creativity piece. Within the honesty category, there's authenticity. Within the competence category, I feel that a lot more with sport. And if I look at the different examples associated with the competence category, I'm like, yeah, I get a lot of those from sport. The autonomy piece. If I go over to sport and go to volleyball and be like, what needs does that meet for me? Interconnection, competence. There within the competence category, one of the words given is learning. I don't feel that way about business. I am not like, I got to go learn new things, learn a million different ways to do this. And I'm like, I'm good. I'm happy with this. Jill, very different than me. She's like constantly wanting to learn. Whereas when it comes to volleyball, I'm like, I will study things. I will follow things. I have so many things saved in my phone. I'm watching videos all the time. I'm texting my coach. I love it. I love the learning side of it, right? Volleyball is what's meeting that need for me. Within the meaning category is inspiration. Volleyball brings me that. Within the celebration category, play is one of those words. Volleyball brings me that. If I look at relationships in my life, right, whether it's friends or Lex, whoever, there's the connection category, acceptance and love. If I look at my general life and say what needs are being met, celebration within that category is the word joy. Within one of the categories is purpose. Right? My business doesn't bring me a sense of purpose. And I'm okay with that. It doesn't meet those needs. I don't need it to meet those needs. My life does, and how I show up in life. Peace, that's one of the categories, right, as well. And that, to me, is met by my life in general. So I'm looking at the time. I intentionally outlined this shorter because I want to cut the episode shorter so that you can use that time, right? Because we don't find time. We got to borrow and steal it from some other places. So I want to cut this episode shorter. So hopefully you go and take that time and you go, the time that you now have, and you go look at the website, right? Look at all of the words and sit with what needs you'd like for your business to meet, right? I think it can start off with what needs is it currently meeting? Of note, I do believe that different parts of your business can meet different needs. From there, we can ask just what needs do you actually want it to meet? What needs is it meeting? What needs do you want it to meet? How do you want it to meet? How do you want your business to meet those needs? Do you want to create a new offer? Do you want to switch the role that you're in? Maybe you want to bring on a team because you like that connection piece and you like the community piece, and you don't really want it with your clients, but like you like to be working with people and that's a need for you. I don't know. I don't have that in the same way. Next part here to think about is how diversified are you in terms of getting your needs met? Right? How diversified are you in getting your needs met from your life, from sport, from hobbies, from your job? We all understand the concern and the potential, I don't want to say danger, that sounds so like, so scary, but the risk associated with putting all the eggs in one, all the proverbial eggs in one basket. And if you're trying to have one thing meet all your needs, we know this from like relationships, right? Where like one person can't be everything for you. I think that the same way, like one aspect of your life, that's very tough to have it be everything and meet all of your needs. So the next part is, are you even getting your needs met at all? Right? I've been having great discussions because, again, it's legacy time, it's Luxury Mind time, and I'm reminded that like we are in this incredible realm and how we create our own lives. Whereas when I talk to like people like my brother and they're in more of the corporate world, and I'm like, holy shit, this is like a different world. It's the same world, but they're like playing by different rules and like playing by different beliefs. in this ecosystem that we've created, and you listening to this, you watching this, if you stumbled upon this, you've been in the ecosystem for any amount of time, then my guess is that we share this vision of things, this approach to things, in terms of believing that we, are the masters of our own destiny, that we really have a lot of control over our own lives. And to that end, we can sit and say, am I getting my needs met? How am I getting them met? I'm building this business and is there to meet my needs. It's there to serve me. Is it doing that? What needs do I want it to serve? The next part here, the next question you could ask yourself is, do you know what your needs are? Just sitting and looking at that list, even if you just take it outside of the business lens and just sit and go through the words and be like, where do I feel this? Where do I get this from? Do I want this? Do I feel like I need this? I fucking love it. It's just, to me, it excites me to talk about this because, again, it gives language, and when you have language around things, it can lead to understanding, and it can also present solutions for things, right? Because you can now articulate it, and then you can ask for what you want. You can go after what you want. Your business, in my opinion, is there to serve you. You're creating this thing. It's there to serve you, and you get to choose how it serves you. And yes, I do believe that how it serves you and what you want from it can and likely will change over time. All right, so let's allow that, of course. I also think that there's a lot of utility in simply sitting with this drill if and when you feel like you're bored in your business, or you're stuck, or you're wanting change, or you're kind of floundering with things. Like, sit and be like, that's part of the nonviolent communication and the needs list. And there's like other drills before it on that website. And just talking about when your needs aren't met, you have these feelings. And then when your needs are met, you have these other feelings that are typically way more positive. And the goal is to identify, what was the thing that made you feel like this? What needs aren't being met? How to get them met, and ask for them. And in this case, yes, we're talking specifically about business, but even just sitting with this and being like, how do I feel? What needs are not being met? What can I do about it? Again, it just feels so grounding to me because it gives words. And when we have words, we have communication. We have communication, we have solutions. We have solutions, we have action. And y'all know that I love that. So, yeah, action is the answer. I believe that's like in the little tagline for this podcast, somewhere on like a little blurb. But either way, check out that link, themovementmaestro.com/NCV-needs-list. It'll also be linked in the show notes. Check it out. Hit me back if anything comes up. Shoot me a text, 310-737-2345. Shoot me a DM at The Movement Maestro. Drop a comment. I'd love to hear from you at this, because clearly, I'm interested in this, and I think this is some powerful stuff. So, Laura Jean, if you are listening, you already know you're the real MVP. The rest of you, as always, almost knocked my drink over. As always, endlessly appreciative for your time, your energy, your attention. You listen to me, and I'm just like, wow, thank you. All right, that's all I got for you for today. Until next time, friends, Maestro and a very old school shirt. This is the first shirt that I ever made. Out.